Hello, and welcome to TechFrame. They built a 57-story skyscraper in just 19 days. They used mushrooms to grow entire buildings. And in the middle of the desert, engineers cooled down concrete with actual ice to stop a megastructure from melting. These aren't sci-fi stories, they're real, revolutionary, and some are even ancient. From floating cities to shape-shifting materials, these 10 construction methods defy logic, gravity, and everything you thought you knew about how the world is built. The 19-day skyscraper. In Changsha, China, a company named Broad Sustainable Building threw out the rulebook. While most skyscrapers take months, if not years to complete, they erected a 57-story tower in just 19 days. That's 3 floors per day. How? Modular construction on steroids. Each piece of the building was pre-fabricated off-site like Lego bricks, complete with wiring, insulation, and piping. When it arrived at the site, it snapped together like an adult-size Ikea set, except this one had elevators, restaurants, and earthquake resistance baked in. And here's the kicker. It's 5 times more energy efficient than traditional buildings. It's not just fast, it's smarter, greener, and terrifyingly scalable. The same company claims it could build a 220-story building in just 90 days. Yeah, wrap your head around that. Self-healing concrete. Cracks ruin roads, destroy buildings, and cost billions in repairs each year. But what if concrete could heal itself? Enter self-healing concrete, a method so futuristic it might as well be Terminator tech. Developed by scientists using bacteria, this material springs into action when damaged. The bacteria lie dormant until water seeps into a crack. Then they wake up, munch on nutrients embedded in the mix, and excrete limestone, patching the gap from within. Some variants don't use bacteria at all. They use microcapsules filled with epoxy resin. When the concrete fractures, the capsules burst, sealing the crack instantly. The goal? Roads and bridges that last hundreds of years without maintenance. We're literally teaching concrete how to fix itself. Building with mushrooms. No, you're not hallucinating. In 2023, a startup called MycoWorks created building materials from mycelium, the root structure of mushrooms. These organic structures grow into any shape using agricultural waste as food. They're lightweight, waterproof, fire-resistant, and completely biodegradable. But here's what will blow your mind. These materials are so tough, some outperform concrete and plastic in pressure tests. You can grow insulation panels, bricks, and even furniture with 0 emissions. And when you're done with the building, just compost it. We're not constructing, we're cultivating architecture. Underwater concrete that never cracks. Building underwater has always been a nightmare. Concrete doesn't set well in water, unless you engineer it like the Romans. 2,000 years ago, the Romans developed a formula using volcanic ash that reacts with seawater to get stronger over time. Modern scientists only recently cracked the secret behind it, and they're using it to build ocean piers, tunnels, and underwater megastructures. But now, there's more. Engineers are creating new versions that use nanoparticles and polymers, producing concrete that sets instantly underwater and never forms shrinkage cracks. It can even resist corrosion from salt, the main killer of marine infrastructure. Ancient wisdom remixed with nanoscience. Concrete cooled with ice, the Burj Khalifa hack. When Dubai began constructing the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on Earth, engineers faced an insane challenge. How do you pour concrete in 100 degrees Fahrenheit heat without it cracking or setting too fast? The solution? Ice. Literal tons of it. To keep the mix from overheating, crews added ice flakes directly into the concrete batch. This cooled it down just enough to pour safely, without compromising strength. The result was over 431,000 cubic meters of concrete, stabilized with freezer-level precision. It's the kind of detail most people overlook, but without it, the world's tallest skyscraper wouldn't exist. Bridges that slide into place overnight. Bridges used to take months of traffic delays to build. Not anymore. Now, cities like Boston and Amsterdam use a method called accelerated bridge construction, ABC. The entire bridge is built nearby, then slid into place overnight using hydraulic skids or Teflon pads with dish soap for lubrication. Sounds wild? That's because it is. A full bridge, hundreds of tons, glides into position like a drawer sliding into a cabinet. In one case, engineers replaced a 3-lane highway bridge in less than 10 hours, with traffic flowing again by dawn. What used to be chaos is now choreography. 3D printed houses in 24 hours. You've heard of 3D printing, but did you know it's being used to print homes? In China, the company Winsun printed 10 homes in a single day, using a massive printer and a special mix of recycled construction waste. The cost? Just $5,000 per home. But the innovation doesn't stop there. In Mexico, a startup called Icon is building entire neighborhoods for low-income families. Each house printed on site with weather-resistant concrete. These aren't gimmicks. They're livable, durable, and earthquake-proof. Some even have reinforced steel mesh embedded mid-print for added strength. We're not laying bricks anymore, we're printing futures. Shape-shifting buildings. In Germany, researchers are developing building materials that respond to the weather. Think wood that opens its pores when it's hot and closes them when it's cold. No electronics needed. It's called hygromorphic material, and it mimics pine cones. As humidity changes, the material flexes, creating self-ventilating facades that don't need AC or fans. In Dubai, the Al Bar Towers take it further. They have motorized shading screens that open and close like origami based on the sun's position. It's architecture that moves, breathes, and adapts on its own. The line between machine and building just got blurred. Earthquake-proof floating foundations. Japan gets over 1,500 earthquakes a year, so it had to get creative. One solution? Seismic isolation platforms. Massive rubber and steel pads that let entire buildings float during tremors. When an earthquake hits, the structure slides slightly instead of shaking violently, reducing damage by up to 90%. Some take it even further, like a magnetic levitation foundation in testing phases. Imagine your house floating an inch above the ground, not metaphorically, but literally, held aloft by magnetic fields so it never even feels the quake. It sounds like magic, it's just physics. Brutal, beautiful physics. Buildings that grow themselves. Imagine planting a seed and getting a house. In the UK, architects are using willow trees and thyme to grow actual structures. By weaving young trees into frameworks and letting them fuse naturally over years. It's called botanic. Meanwhile, in the US, researchers are experimenting with genetically modified cyanobacteria that grow into solid bricks when exposed to sunlight and humidity. These buildings aren't made, they're grown. They absorb CO2, regenerate when damaged, and even repair themselves in some cases. It's slow, it's weird, but it might be the most sustainable future we've got. They don't teach this in school. These methods challenge everything we thought was possible, from skyscrapers that rise in days to walls made from fungus and bacteria. We're entering a future where buildings don't just stand, they think, adapt, and even heal. So next time you walk past a construction site, ask yourself, is it being built or is it evolving? Subscribe for more strange truths.